Recording in progress.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Functional Medicine with me, Dr. Howard Robbins. As you know, our show is dedicated to helping prevent as well as treat virtually every medical problem that is preventable and treatable in a natural, safe, and effective way. Key word is always safe. That to me is probably the most important thing I can say, because why take risks? That's the problem with pharmaceutical medicine. Pharmaceutical medicine is F&D, fast and dangerous, whereas natural medicine, what we call functional medicine today, is S&S, safe but slow very often. You don't always get that I want to be better immediately kind of response, but at least you're not risking your life to do so. So we do this show. You can listen to the show here on libsyn.com. Okay, you go to, if it's going to be posted there, we've been having some technical difficulties at directory.libsyn.com, and you can hear all my back podcasts, or you can try now for all the new ones that we're doing as well on my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, go to search, and just put in Functional Medicine with Dr. Robbins. And you'll see my picture and the name of the show. Click on it, then click on videos, and you get all the shows that I've been doing for some time now that I have been posting up on there. That's another resource. If you want to see me, you can see me. I'm not the techie that many people are, like a lot of the doctors that do these kind of podcasts, though maybe not as good as ours. They're much more techie than I am, and things are a lot more polished, but that's fine. Today, we're going to be doing a show that I think is beyond important. It's phenomenally important. It's on probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics. And people are spending fortunes, billions, literally billions of dollars worldwide on various things that have the word probiotics associated with it. And you don't know what you're getting, and you don't know what you're spending extra money on. You're finding it in shampoo, in seltzer water, as well as in various foods and whatnot. And you're spending extra money, and it's attracting you because that word is really hot, and you may be wasting it. And more importantly, not getting what you're paying for. So this is what we're going to be talking about, and how important it is in the not only the prevention of diseases and conditions from just about everything you can imagine, every heart disease, kidney disease, liver disease, lung disease, mouth disease, cancer, just about everything you can imagine. But it's also a way to help treat these things and get rid of them if you're doing the right type, the right ones. So we're going to be going over all of that. And first thing I want to say, and I'm going to try to put a screen share on for those of you that can see this on functional medicine, so that you'll be able to see a slideshow, a PowerPoint that I've been using for some time now. And it's been very beneficial, when I lecture. So hopefully I'll be able to post that so that you all who can see it. Otherwise, you're going to hear all about it. Okay. And I'm going to thank only one sponsor. Well, Doctor's Biome, I'll thank very quickly. Doctorsbiome.com, DOCTRSBIOME.com. That's big part of what this show is about, probiotics. You want to use the coupon code, I'll mention it later, radio 20, and you're going to learn why this is such an amazing and important product out there. In addition, And very importantly, I want to thank a sponsor for many years now, Promo Life. Promo Life makes ozonated products of all kinds. One of their best products, I mean, people just absolutely go crazy over it, is their underarm deodorant. It doesn't have any, it flies out of the office, really, literally. It doesn't have any uh, uh, aluminum in it, and it's all natural. It stops odor in its tracks because it kills the bacteria that's in the oils that are in sweat, so that it neutralizes them. So you don't have the horrible people who suffer from a body odor. It's just an amazing underarm deodorant, and it's inexpensive. Um, they make many ozonated products. Their new ozonated water device is just also flies out of the office. It's an outstanding device. You can make ozonated water in just 3 to 5 minutes to drink, which helps with many digestive problems. Um, you could use it for many different things. You can listen to the shows we've done on it. All you have to do is go to promolife.com, PROMOLIFE.com, and remember, this is the key. Call them at 888-742-3404. So you go there and look at all their products, see what they're about, but then call them at 888-742-3404. Tell them you heard about it here on my show, and they'll do something special for you. Get a discount. They're just really, really good that way. Okay. So so that's just a wonderful thing. Now, if I can, I'm going to share screen. Okay. And now we're going to begin. So I'm going to keep it small because I have to really see if, what things are going on. I think I kind of goofed. There we go. I ungoofed. Going to fix it again. Everybody, hang in there with me. I already told you I ain't a techie. But for those of you that can see this, I want you to see it. So let's begin. So why did I develop an interest in probiotics? Okay. Why did I develop an interest in probiotics? I've been doing what's called intravenous ozone therapy since January of 1990. Oh, well, the numbers that you may see on that screen are old, well over 420,000 intravenous treatments. That's more than any one clinic in the world, more than all the doctors in probably North America put together. And treating just about every kind of digestive disease and disorder that you can imagine, as well as many other diseases. This PowerPoint you see, I actually presented to a medical group on digestive diseases, but it treats many different things. And unfortunately, antibiotics kill all the good boys instantly. Ozone does this, kills antibiotics kill all bacteria instantly. Probiotics replenish the gut, and we need them to be healthy. Ozone kills good boys also. It doesn't know the difference between a bad bacteria and a good bacteria. So ozone is going to destroy all bacteria, viruses, yeast, mold, parasites, toxins, harmful free radicals, remove toxic metals from your body. Antibiotics that you get in red meat or chicken that isn't organic, kosher or halal, farm-raised fish as well can be loaded with antibiotics. Unfortunately, you got all this junk in your body and you don't know it. So You have to replenish the good boys on a daily basis. And a lot of patients say, well, why do I have to do that? If I put the good boys back in, why do I really need more good boys? Don't they just regrow and regenerate inside me? The answer is, to some degree, they do. But on the other hand, if you drink liquids, even water, and eat food, everything we eat is loaded with this stuff that you see, bacteria, etc. So when we ingest them, our immune system is supposed to kill them off. First, the stomach acids destroy a lot of things that can't live in it, like virus, yeast, and mold for the most part. But bacteria may survive. They like an acidic medium environment. So when they reach the gut, you need the good boys living in the wall of the gut, not just to aid digestion, but living in the wall of the gut, okay, to kill off these bad boys. Now, do you really need probiotics? There are literally thousands of papers published on the effects of probiotics on brain mood, depression and anxiety, autism, cancer, weight loss, diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, mouth disease, gum disease. Virtually the digestive system, the gut, and the bacteria in the gut connect and interface. It's amazing. I mean, you would think that bacteria, what do they know? They interface with just about every organ in your body. So it's called the gut, I call it fill in the blank axis. There's the gut brain axis, the gut mouth axis, the gut heart axis, the gut diabetes axis, the gut kidney axis, the gut skin axis. If you look it up, you go to pubmed.gov, our National Library of Medicine from the NIH, and you put in the thing, microbiome gut axis or probiotic gut axis. You're going to just keep putting in different body parts, gut blank axis. You're going to get just dozens of papers. You could spend the rest of your life reading all the papers that have been published. So weight loss, you would think, well, how does the gut affect weight loss? Amazingly important. If you're having trouble losing weight, this could be the main reason why. You're exercising correctly, you're eating correctly, you just can't lose any weight. Why? Dozens and dozens of papers written on the connection and how you're not absorbing nutrients correctly, how your metabolism isn't working correctly because your gut is off. Okay? I have to be careful using the C word, because if the C word, the thing everybody doesn't want in their body, like cancer, which is the C word, this show may go down. YouTube doesn't like that word being used, and I guess they have computer algorithms to look for it. Hopefully, I won't be mentioning it again. I've said it twice already. And hopefully it'll pass and you'll be able to get this show put up. Otherwise, I'm going to wind up doing it again one day without the C word. Okay. But in the prevention and treatment of it, I'm going to be at Annie Appleseed Project at the end of February in West Palm Beach, Florida, presenting on ozone and microbiome in the prevention and treatment of it. Kidney disease and the gut microbiome. It's just amazing on how many different papers there are on these things. Heart failure. It's hard to believe that heart attacks and heart failure relate to an unhealthy gut. I know you won't believe it, but the truth is, direct relationship, and dozens of papers have been written on it. On diabetes, okay, diabetes in the gut. If you're having trouble controlling your blood sugar, if you're worried about if you're pre-diabetic, your A1C is too high, it's likely because your gut is not a healthy gut. Okay. So you need to get, um, this is probably one of the most important shows anybody could listen to. Send your friends to listen to this show. It's that important. Got dental problems? You have gum disease? Are you losing your teeth? Do you have to have constantly have your teeth pulled and have implants put in? Unhealthy gut can lead to this. Periodontic disease, gingivitis. I've lectured at many dental meetings on the importance of probiotics and in the prevention and treatment of it. So, do you get the point? Microbiome in the gut affects your entire body. As simple as that. Okay. Now, how do you know you need them? If you've had an antibiotic even once in your lifetime, if you eat red meat or chicken that isn't organic or farm raised fish, if you can answer yes to any of these questions I'm asking, do you suffer from flatulence? Do you feel bloated after eating? Are you ever constipated? Do you have occasional or frequent diarrhea? Do you have acid reflux? Do you suffer from a digestive disease or disorder? Look at your tongue. Is it coated with a white coating? It should be basically pink with a little whitish streak, so to speak, down the middle. If you have a black tongue, you got a problem. If it's coated black, you got a real problem. Tongue should be generally nice pink color. Do you suffer from chronic fatigue? Are you tired all the time when you really shouldn't be? Do you get frequent genital or urinary tract infections? Okay. Uh, do you have chronic sinus problems? Do you have fungus nails? Do you feel depressed? Do you have trouble losing weight? You having trouble controlling your sugar? Are you pre-diabetic? And here's the biggie. Do you want to grow old and be well? Then you probably need probiotics. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to our first commercial break right now. And when we come back, we're going to get right into the heart of the show on what are probiotics, how they work, how we can treat them, and just about everything you need to know, have to know, and want to know. Okay, everybody, we'll be right back. So, everybody, thank you for hanging in here with us. I'm back again, and we're going to get right into things because these shows go by. It's almost like, hello, this is Dr. Robbins. Thank you for being here. Goodbye. Have a nice week. They go that fast. So this is key. Probiotics are bacteria. They are they have to be live organisms, which, when you get in a large enough amount, can give you some kind of a health benefit. If no health benefit is given, it's not a probiotic. It's just safe let's call it, it's not going to harm you. It's safe bacteria. Okay. Now, if you spend the mega hours that I've spent, literally months of my life for the past almost 10 years now, learning about this. When I began, I thought I knew everything about it, this much. I mean, just stick your right arm and your left arm out to your sides. That's how much I thought I knew. Now, if you take your thumb and your index finger and put it together, after almost 10 years of studying bacteria probiotics, I learned I know next to nothing. That's how much more there is to learn. Now, why don't all probiotics work? Because capsule, powder, and tablet probiotics, as you're going to learn, can't easily survive the stomach acids. So they ain't natural, they had to create it, what's called next generation bacteria, next generation probiotics that are capable of surviving the stomach acids and the bile salts of the small intestine, 85 to 90%. As you're going to learn, capsule, powder, and tablet probiotics are been put into suspended animation by freeze drying them, so they're not actually alive anymore. Okay, they're not actually living. Let's put it that way. And then they've got to stick to the wall of the gut. So you got two types of bacteria, probiotics. One that look like your index finger if you hold it up. It looks like a stick. They call them rods. They aid digestion. Then you have the kind that have sort of like feet and, hands and feet that actually can glue onto the wall of your gut. They're called smart, and those types can get there, but to make large amounts get there and work and glue on well, they created what's called smart bacteria, smart probiotics. They didn't go to Harvard or Yale to get a degree. They were just created so they can play in what I call the colon sandbox effectively and stick to the wall of the gut. This helps get rid of bad bacteria that might be living there, causing you a digestive disease or disorder, gets yeast in balance again, candida in balance again. And if you look up symptoms of candidiasis on the internet, you'll understand why you have it and why it's so important to get rid of and get it in balance. You never get rid of yeast, you get it in balance again. So probiotics not only help you absorb the nutrients from all the food you're eating, but it also helps you absorb all the benefits and get into your blood from all the supplements you might be taking. Many of the people listening to the show take a lot of things. Okay, so basically speaking, it's that important. Okay, to be doing that all the time. Okay, now it also helps create vitamins that we absorb, B vitamins, for example, which we need. So probiotics leave what's called, as you're going to learn, postbiotics, and part of that is like B vitamins. We make our own. You don't always need to take supplements. Okay, so there's many reasons why probiotics are so essential to our health and how they interact with all those different organisms. So, there's thousands of papers being written on this and published in peer-reviewed medical journals. I'm published in peer-reviewed medical journals on microbiome. There's things called FMTs now, fecal matter transplants. That's where they take healthy feces. Listen, it sounds gross, but it is. But they take healthy feces and they basically put it in through your colon, through your rectum, into your colon to populate the wall of your gut. They take this healthy feces, supposedly healthy feces from a healthy person, not from somebody who's sick, and they put it into somebody who has digestive diseases, who's sick, whatever. And unfortunately, that kind of transplantation has actually caused a few deaths. So there is a little controversy there, but it's being done literally now, at least all over the US for quite some time. Well, probiotics are actually a healthier way and a safe way of getting it. Okay. C. diff is an infection that 500,000 Americans and people worldwide suffer from. Almost 30,000 people, mostly children and elderly, die from it every year. And it's caused by taking antibiotics. And it's a horrible, horrible, oh my God, the effects it has on the body. If you're listening to this show and you have or know someone who had C. diff, the probiotics we're going to be talking about can help get rid of it completely. That's what Doctor's Biome has been proven to do. Okay. It's been estimated that treating C. diff has cost almost $7 billion a year worldwide to get rid of it. And I'm published on this, showing how Doctor's Biome, Journal of Gastroenterology Research, that's peer-reviewed medical journal, completely can suppress C. diff in vitro. Well, that means it works in a test tube. Well, does it work on people? Well, we have an open clinical trial that's free going on here in the US right now. So if you contact us, we can let you know if you're still able to get into that, where you can get the medical food version of Doctor's Biome, not the food supplement version. And we give it to you for free. They give it to you for free. And it's actually completely eliminating C. diff in people. They now have a formal clinical trial going on, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled study, because that's the standard. So some people, unfortunately, who are ill with C. diff are going to take just the probiotic beverage without the probiotics. So it's what makes it special is that these bacteria are living. They're actually alive, moving around and growing in number every day. Why? Because they have food to eat. That's what we're going to be talking about when we get to prebiotics. But they're living. And because they're living, okay, they actually do the work. And because they're next generation bacteria, they actually can survive the stomach over 85, 90%. And because they're smart probiotics, they actually can stick to the wall of the gut to repair the gut wall, to get yeast in balance again, to get rid of harmful bacteria that may be living there. Drink it living. It's the only way. Taking capsule powders and tablets are a mistake. Now, how do we know? 60 Minutes. I don't particularly like the show because anything that's in the natural health world that's been helpful to people, they tend to destroy and like to tear apart. But way back in June of 2020, they did a 20-minute segment of the show all on probiotics and why they don't work. Okay. And to be honest, it blew me away. Okay. It was, as I said, nothing less than flabbergasting, because we expect common knowledge says probiotics are good for you and they work. But here's the problem. There's been a growing conflict among scientists and gastroenterologists, doctors who specialize in digestive diseases. Do they actually provide any benefit? So what they found, I mean, you have doctors like Dr. Hibbard from North Carolina University Medical School who claims they don't work. Okay. She said on the show, one cause of confusion may be the placebo effect because people feel they may work, they feel better from it. And I'm 100% in favor of placebo. But for the people who need it the most, it's got to be more than 65% possible efficacious, like placebo can be at a maximum. You need to be in the 80, 90% beneficial range to be doing any good at all. Okay. So when they did this show, they had professors, Doctors Eliav and Segal from Israel's Weizmann Institute. They did a first of its kind experiment. What they did was they gave a large group of volunteers, all different types of probiotics that you could buy in health food stores and pharmacies, over the internet, I guess, wherever they got it from. They published on this in medical journals. Not easy to find. I found it so I could read their actual studies. But they came on the show and they told how they looked across the entire GI tract. Okay. And basically, they had half the group of volunteers take probiotics and half the group take a placebo, just a pill that had nothing in it to cause you. It was an empty pill filled with, I guess, sugar powder, whatever. It had nothing that could help anybody at all. And then they followed it through. They stick a tube down. It's called an endoscopy, where they stick a tube down into your stomach and they saw what was happening in the stomach. Okay. And in the small part, even to a degree, the beginning of the small intestine. Then they did what's called a colonoscopy. They do a tube, they stick it up your rectum. I know it sounds gross, but that's if you know what a colonoscopy is. And they looked to see what was getting there, what was going on in the colon when people were taking probiotics. Then they actually looked at the feces, and it blew them away. Now, I know I'm unusual. I do not, when I defecate, I wipe and flush. Actually, I use a thing called a device that cleans me out down there. I like to stay very clean. And so I'm very clean when I wipe. I wash it all, everything off and everything. But I don't examine my feces. I just don't do that. They took the feces out, okay, and they found things that actually blew them completely away. What they found was that some of the capsules didn't even open or were only partially opened. They found that if they measured the amount that was going in the capsules, they were all coming out and they were dead. They never came back to life. So it was contrary to conventional wisdom that this was what should happen. So they said that many of these probiotics, these bacteria are very fragile. They need to be protected from heat and oxygen, light, humidity. They need to be protected from all these things. Some are even sold and refrigerated. And you may know that if you buy different ones, you have to ask for it. They keep them refrigerated or the different strains. Because if they get too hot, they're going to start to break down. Now, here's the important thing to remember. All these capsule powders and tablets are freeze dried. If you actually measured what's inside the actual bacteria, the amount of bacteria that's in there might be a fraction of the powder that you see. The rest is all just filler. The same thing for a tablet. The same thing when you just buy the powder itself. And in the freeze drying process, all these bacteria literally just get destroyed. Just literally just get destroyed. So basically speaking, they're in suspended animation, hoping to come back to life, but they're literally going in one hole and out the other. So they came up with an idea. What if we fill capsules with spores and these spores would actually be put in a capsule that would survive the stomach acid and then open up in the small intestine. Well, sometimes the capsules don't open up as they found. They may not dissolve completely, but more importantly, there's not enough time for these spores to grow into healthy adults and make their way and populate the wall of the gut. Um, yes, it could take as much as 3 days to transit, but if that means that if you took a pill, do you have did you not defecate for 3 days? That food did not pass through that you ate during those 3 days? I You don't want to be keeping back the feces growing in your gut for 3 days in time. So let's go to our last commercial break. And when we come back from this break, I'm going to tell you what really works, what you really need, and what really will make a difference to your life, help you overcome digestive diseases and disorders, as well as many other health problems. So stay with us, and we'll be right back. So, everybody, for those that are listening on Voice America, I'm back again. And now, for all of you, we're going to continue on. So, what really works? Clearly, what you want is called a complementary symbiotic. That's spelled SYN, okay? Not SYM as in Mary, SYN as in Nancy. You need at least, according to all the research that I've done, 12 strains. Doctor's Biome has 15 patented strains. You want them to be not just alive at the time of manufacture. Look at the labels. That many of them say that. That was true. But once they were freeze dried, they were put into hibernation, hoping to come out and be strong. So Doctor's Biome has 15 patented strains created to survive the stomach. So you want them to be not just living, but alive. Now, all the experts agree you need at least 27 billion what's called colony forming units. That means bacteria is 20 billion bacteria that can grow in number. Doctor's Biome starts with 27 billion CFUs. And what are they living in? Now, many probiotics, like kombucha, for example, only has a few strains. It's living in, tastes terrible, though that's my opinion. Some people do enjoy it. But because of fermentation, it has alcohol in it. Can't stop it. And they're living and eating sugar that's in it. My patients, many of them are diabetics or pre-diabetics, can't do sugar. Alcohol, I have a lot of patients that have been in AA, that are in AA, that have been alcoholics, but alcohol weakens the immune system. So we can't have any alcohol in it, like kombucha has at least 0.5% or more alcohol in it. So Doctor's Biome was created to prevent that and not have that. So it's in a 100% organic juice. Mint, kale, lettuce, cucumber, celery, apple, lemon juice with German certification, because the USDA says you could be 95% organic and it's 100% organic. the Germans don't permit that. If it's not 100%, it's not 100%. Okay? So you want to have at least a juice that has what's called prebiotics in it. Now, what are prebiotics? Prebiotics are basically the food that probiotics are going to eat. That's the key thing to understand. It's the food that bacteria are going to eat. So if you make the organic juice that they use, they actually keep the fiber in it, and you won't know it's there because the fiber has been so micro-sized through sieves, not through chemical processing, through sieves that just make it micro-sized. The bacteria now have an adequate food supply so they can eat and grow in number on a daily basis, so that in a very short time from the date that you find on the package, they're well over 100 billion CFUs. They could be several hundred billion CFUs by the time you actually get it and drink it. Now, that's when they weren't selling it so fast. It's made in small batches. So it's actually being sold all over the US through the internet. Hundreds of doctors now are using it and selling it in their practice. It's being sold in the EU. For those of you that are listening there, you go to Nutrimed .ne or EU. It's an online store there where you can buy all sorts of supplements. Nutrimed sells it. It's being shipped literally all over the world. There's a distributor in Singapore that's selling it. Bottom of the line is that they can't keep it in and make it almost fast enough, because it has to go through independent laboratory testing to prove that it's safe. That's the key thing. So here you have these so you're going to have 100 by the time you get it. It's from the date on the bottle of the date of manufacture. It's not an expiration date. It's probably in 100 billion to 200 billion CFUs. Amazing product and delicious. Even children love it. Now, when a baby is born, they're born without microbiome. They get microbiome if there was natural childbirth. As they pass through the birth canal, they'll get some of the mom's natural biome. And then the rest of the biome that they're supposed to get comes from breastfeeding. But what if the mother doesn't have healthy biome in her gut? Not going to give it to the baby. And that's why you find babies and young children wind up getting colds all the time, runny noses and things like that, because they don't have enough healthy bacteria in their gut. So you can actually give Doctor's Biome to babies. I know I've given it to my grandchildren. When babies are born, you can actually give, you give them their cereal, their milk, whichever way you're doing it, breastfeeding or or other bottles of milk that you make, there. But in any case, you can add to it separately. I always like an empty stomach. You can give it to them in a dropper and just keep putting drops in their mouth. They'll love it because it tastes great. Um, then as they get a little bit bigger, when they're hitting, 15, 20 pounds, you could start giving them, you get a little syringe, you can buy them on the internet, obviously without a needle. You suck up about a cc for maybe a 20-pound baby, and you can squeeze it slowly into the mouth for them to drink it. It's delicious. They'll love it. And then as the baby gets bigger, 30 pounds, you can go to two cc's. At 40 pounds, you could probably go 4 cc's of the liquid. You can give more. It's safe. It will not harm your baby. We've proven that with my own grandchildren. And you'll find that as your children start to get into preschool and school age, you might want to go and give them a quarter of that 2-ounce shot bottle that it comes in. As they get a little bigger, when they're hitting 50, 60 pounds, 70 pounds, you could actually give them a third to half the bottle. You can give more, won't hurt them, but no reason to give bigger doses if it's not needed. And this way you just refrigerate it again, and it's good for another few dosings. So that's how children can be protected and treated. Okay. And I published in a peer-reviewed medical journal, the Journal of Gastroenterology Research, showing the beneficial effects of Doctor's Biome. Okay. It's kind of interesting because in a peer-reviewed journal, you have peer reviewers are doctors that they send the paper to look over the science, to see if there's objections to things that have been claims that are being made. Are they backed up and things like that? And one of the peer reviewers contacted me and wanted to buy into the company. How could he buy into the company? Because he was absolutely blown away happy that this product was out there, because it's proven that it really works on just about every digestive disease and disorder that you can imagine. Okay. So it's that good. All right. I'm going to tell you now instead of later, because I want to also thank Promo Life again. What you need to do is go online to doctorsbiome.com. DOCTORS, all spelled out, BIOME. Sounds like biome, but it's biome.com. When you get there, you could use the code radio20. And I believe you'll get 20% off your first order. Okay? You'll get 20% off your first order. Here's the good, even better news. It comes with a 100% money back guarantee. They're so certain that it'll benefit you and that you'll love it. I mean, it has, from what I'm told, over a 90% retention rate. People who buy it stay with it. Okay. But you can get your money back. But you can get your money back if for some reason you can't take it. It's okay. Maybe you're allergic to something. I mean, it's crazy to think of who could be allergic to organic mint, kale, lettuce, cucumber, celery, apple, or lemon juice. Virtually, it's unheard of, but you never know. So when you get it, you start using it. It's always best to refrigerate the bottles. And it's important to take them about you do 1 shot, 2-ounce shot a day if you don't have any medical problems. And it's good to start off if you have a digestive disease or disorder, do 2 a day. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, a half hour before breakfast, a half at least, or a half hour before dinner, at least a half hour, if you're going to eat breakfast or dinner. If you're not going to eat, it doesn't matter. Empty stomach is the key, because now we're going to be helping all that bacteria, all those that a healthy biome go from your stomach into your gut. Food is going to keep it in the stomach longer because it has to be digested there. And even though this is resistant bacteria strains to digestive juices, you'll still kill more off. And I don't like wasting anything. So the key is empty stomach, and ideally you can, refrigerate it, though it does not require refrigeration. Okay. As long as you don't open the bottle. If you open the bottle, you got to refrigerate it. Don't open that 2-ounce bottle. You could take it at room temperature and just swig it all down. So it's perfectly fine to do that, particularly if you're concerned that your baby shouldn't drink anything cold. Then let it warm up, in the little droppers or syringes that you're going to use, and let it warm up to room temperature, and then you can give it to them to drink. But so now it has prebiotics in it, so it's able to grow in number and eat. And now when you have healthy biome in your gut, as the healthy biome dies off, it gives what's called postbiotics, healthy products that your body now can absorb, amino acids, that are important, B vitamins that are important. You can look this up on the internet. So you don't have to take a postbiotic. It's already going to be there for you, and it's all part of what you paid for to begin with. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that make sense? So this is why it's so important, and this is why it became so valuable and important to me to develop this for my medical practice. For those of you that are seeing, those are my little doggies, Tolly, Franklin in the middle, and Arnold all the way to the right on the left. They're cute. 2 of them are rescues, the cutest dogs in the world. And I love that. I just love them to death. They're everything. They mean everything to us. I donate a lot of money to animal rescues of different types around the world, and animals as well as people are a part of important thing to help them in my life. And here's the good news: you can give Doctor's Biome to your dogs, to your animals. I have many patients that do that. Some of the dogs love it, some of the dogs don't. So you have to sort of squeeze it into their mouth with a syringe without a needle on it. Most of them love it. Everybody, if you want to learn more about this, if you call me, if you want to ask me questions, call me on my to my office in Manhattan at 212-581-0101. That's 212-581-0101. By the way, Promo Life's phone number is 888-742-3404. At promolife.com, you could view all their products. Remember Doctor's Biome at doctorsbiome.com, and the coupon code radio20 to get a discount off your first order, because it's not a cheap product. Nothing cheap is good, and nothing good is cheap. Everybody, please stay healthy, stay well, and come back next week and tell your friends all about my show. Bye now.